What's up, guys? Today we're pouring resin. What's up, guys? Happy New Year's. I hope y'all had good holidays and stuff. Me and my family, we caught COVID and we were sick, so I pretty much quarantined most of December, and now I'm fine. My wife's okay. And so I wanted to come on today and I wanted to show y'all a video on how I prep my resin boards. The only thing is, it's already sitting in there. I kept getting a bunch of messages and my phone went off, and the other message had a bunch of beeps in it, so I went ahead and take that off. So I'm just re-recording my intro for that. But yeah, so today I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I prep my resin boards, my resin molds. This is my Maker's reusable mold, and I do have other stuff on the table. I just popped these out, which is this one. I gotta flatten it, but I'm gonna let it cure for another day. When it's cold outside, guys, don't rush your resin. Resin takes forever to cure. I have heaters in here and it still takes forever, but this is another one I'm making. And as for this particular one, I am the only person right now that has this mold. It's not available. It's not for the public, not yet. I'm still working on other stuff with them, but as soon as we get everything fixed and figured out how it's cost efficient and whatnot, I will let y'all know, hey, the guitar mold is available, but it's not right now, so don't ask. But later on I'll make a video on it. I guess if this one's okay enough, I'll make another video on prepping that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and go through the process on what I do to prep my molds for my pours. Alright guys, so today we're gonna go ahead and pour resin in my 13-inch round mold. It's a Maker's reusable mold. I also have their guitar mold and two of these and a round mold. And I had a question the other day on how I secure wood, because these molds don't come with the rails and the brackets and stuff like that. But as you can see, I have pieces made in there. Nothing's leaking. This piece there, nothing leaking, and then this is just on top, being held down. And as for this, at the moment I'm the only person who has it, but it is a guitar mold. And later on, if this video does good, I will do a video using that and how I do that. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and silicone this and then start prepping my wood. Okay, so as for anything, I use 100% silicone. I use different brands, so it's whatever you have near you, and you go ahead and put some around it. Alright, so now that I put silicone around it, the one thing that I do, or that you can do, and is really helpful, is you get you some soap, some soapy water, put it around your finger, and just run it. And that will keep the silicone from sticking to your finger. And I don't know, I've always done this way. Alright, so while this dries for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get my wood ready. And that's just going to sit there for a while. So because I make a bunch of circles, I have a template just out of MDF. And I'm going to find a piece of wood, put this on there how I want it, trace it, cut it, and then do the rest. Alright, so I went ahead, found a random piece of walnut that I'm going to end up using. And you're not going to be able to tell, but with a pin, I did trace the circles on there. Now I'm going to put it on the bandsaw. Oh shit. Now I'm going to put it on the bandsaw, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out the circles. Alright guys, so I cut my two pieces out. I am going to go ahead and sand them down and then get them ready to put them in the mold. I use my bandsaw. If you don't have one, you can use a jigsaw. It's not that hard, or I guess you technically use a router too. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sand these down and get them ready to put them in the mold. Alright, so I cut them, shaped them, sanded them, and vacuumed them. And now I'm going to go ahead and set them in the mold. And so my silicone around the edges is still wet, and it's not a horrible thing. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little dot of silicone to the bottom of these and set them down. And that's pretty much what I do. And then I'll let this dry for a couple hours before I pour my resin. A lot of people are asking how I held down the A lot of people are asking how I held down my work pieces to my molds, and it's literally the two things I do is I either put just a dab of silicone under it, push it down, and glue it down. If not, I will mix a little bit of tabletop epoxy, which is this too, and I'll pour a little bit in there and pretty much epoxy the pieces down to the mold. But as for today and this, since I'm not going to pour the epoxy right now, I just wanted to make just a video on how I prep it and what I do. I'm going to go ahead and just silicone these down. Alright, and that's pretty much it. They're silicone down, and I just got to let that dry for a little while, and then after it dries and sets, I can pour my resin. I still don't know what colors I'm going to use. This one was a Caribbean blue, and this is I think it's deep blue sea. I don't remember. But it's either going to end up being one of these or just a solid color board. But I just wanted to make this video on how I pretty much get that ready and set. Alright guys, so I'm going to let that dry for a couple hours, and then after it dries, I'm going to go ahead and pour my resin. I think I'm just going to do a one stage. I have that blue sapphire from Black Diamond that I really like, and I put it in another board, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it into this one because it's like a whitish blue. It's really nice. And then I'm going to let that dry. But I think I'm going to go ahead and release this video in like sections, because after I pour the epoxy, it's 72 hours till I pop it out. Probably 100 hours right now that it's cold. So I'm going to go ahead and release this, and then I'll just keep on uploading videos however I can. So go ahead and like and subscribe. Keep checking back. I am going to do more resin pours. I do a lot of my ocean boards, and I always get questions on how it's done. And I've only showed probably like 4 or 5 people. They've asked and I've done it, but I might, if this video goes well, I'll do a video showing on how I do my oceans and my waves and stuff and all that sanding and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this video a day. I think I'm gonna do a small shop tour. Not sure, my shop's a mess, but I'll probably still do it anyways. So go ahead and check back next time. I'll see y'all later.